Showtime.
Catch the look on Swerve's eyes. He's not staying down, guys. He rose up.
Exactly who I am.
But Bobby, you need MJF. Hogan shut down by Dax. Look at the offensive count.
Go to your room, kid. You got her. Sick her now.
Say hello to your CEO.
Two gentlemen will face one-on-one in the first round of the Owen Hart Cup tournament.
What an intro, man. This is the first time I saw that. I hope you all like that because I love that intro, man. I love the new countdown colors and I love the little sound bites for each match.
Yeah.
And you chose some great sound bites, especially the Jericho one really got me.
Go to your room, kid.
But with the theatrical music, man, it's getting me more excited about Dynasty. You know, obviously, like on the heels of one of the best pay-per-views ever with Revolution, it's going to be hard to have a part two so soon.
Yeah.
However, but you just take it for what it is, and the night tomorrow is going to be incredible. And Philly is definitely a wrestling town, so I expect the crowd to be lively. But man, I'm pumped. Welcome to the weekend. Welcome to our AEW Dynasty preview show. Thank you all for joining us in the chat after a Collision. That was a lot of fun stuff going on in Collision. Mine, I see you got your purple shirt on in spirit of Dynasty's color scheme there.
Yes. I was going to go with actually a yellow. I had a yellow Orange Cassidy shirt, and it just, like, for some reason, even though it was picking up green, I didn't see any green on it, but I was going right through, so I had to make a last-minute costume change. My costume mistress was right there for me. She already had the purple one ready to go, so thank you, my beautiful costume mistress. She's the best. Thank you. Welcome.
So my wife,
yeah.
she does theater.
What's that?
I said my wife does theater, and they do quick changes. So sometimes they run off the stage and have to change outfits very, very fast. And so they do have sometimes changers that will help you have your costumes ready, your shoes ready, and everything. So it's like boom, boom, zipping you up, unsnapping you, whatever. So it's nice that you have one at your household as well, just in case you need a quick wardrobe change mid-show.
Absolutely. Now again, I'm really pumped for this Dynasty. I think they did a fantastic Dynamite. That was such a great go home Dynamite. And now, with Collision, Collision seemed like they were trying to jam in as much as they could have. Not bad. That's like trying to eat a steak dinner fast. It's still a steak dinner, but
right.
Like I felt like they were really. It was like it's like that scramble at the end to figure out what the 0 hour is. I know that was also the crowd was probably a little bit tired because that was a pre-taped same crowd from Wednesday. But once again, ladies are main eventing another Collision. I like this trend. The women's division is getting much more of a focus, and I think that's a great thing to have. I just want to say Layla Gray looked fantastic tonight. It was interesting. Some of the storylines that are developing, what's going on with Nick Wayne makes me wonder what's going on with Christian Cage. And are we going to have a Christian Cage come to cope moment? That's what I'm starting to wonder.
Week out, and it's simmering. And I mean, I would love a reunion. Is all the haters online are going to be like, oh, it's just WWE rinse and repeat, Edge and Christian. Who cares? I could give two shits, if you know what I mean. Grizzling shits.
Language, SPD. Language.
Good stuff. And I was texting Crayfish a few weeks ago, and this stuff online about ex-WWE guys and things like that. I'm like, for every. And he kind of come to Jesus moment where when I said this to him, it was something along like, for every one WWE guy that comes over to the AEW, 10 of them for every, let me see how I said it, but like everyone that's came over has had a better opportunity and has gotten better, more spotlight, more time to shine.
Yeah.
Versus, let's say every 10 of them, they've had a better transition to AEW and have a better career advancement to every one, or even less than that. So who cares?
I also think, and we can lead the charge on it, because we've always stayed on about positivity, realistic positivity, of course, not the, lobotomized, AEW's perfect. We're critical when we're critical. If something doesn't pop for us, it doesn't pop for us. It seems like in the intro there, it seemed like only the crickets were excited about the Garcia Cole match. But as far as I think that it's kind of it's easy to get tribal about WWE and AEW, especially because AEW was the shiny new thing when WWE was really struggling. But this post-Vince era WWE, both products are great. And I think it's really just a bad look for anybody to bash the other person. And I think it's sad that there does seem to be a bulk of the animosity is trying to poke fun, is trying to spit on AEW, but there's great things in both. And the realistic thing, when you talk to these actual wrestlers, they're all friends. I think Ricky Saints is great. I think it's great. I think Cody has really done exactly what he needed to do. If Andrade and Miro weren't happy, it's good that they're there, and Malachi, whatever. But then you look at Tony Storm. Tony Storm is somebody that you could argue was misused. I think it was more just sometimes it takes you a while before you click. But look at Tony Storm now. I mean, if you had seen her in NXT and then whatever that mess was where she got pied in the face or something, it's like, what a waste of talent. Look at Ricochet. He's one of the top heels in AEW, and he's great. And he was a mid-carder in WWE. So it goes both ways. I'm happy for everybody. And once again, just the fact that AEW exists is such a great thing for all of wrestling. And I think we're about to get a couple more surprises both in the men's and perhaps in the women's division. It's going to be this summer is going to be great if you're an AEW fan and a WWE fan. But since we are Dynamite Download, it's great to be an AEW fan. I'm excited. And Dynasty is not only going to be a killer pay-per-view, but I think this is setting up for the big one in July.
That's right. And at the end of our show, we got a special announcement. We're going to show the most recent standings at the end of our show, plus a huge announcement from Dynamite Download here. So stick around. We have a huge announcement for
my sources
that has fallen around. You'll really enjoy this announcement. But let's dive into it right now as it speaks. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on X and any posts from TK himself if they're going to be announcing any more 0-hour shows within the hour. If they don't announce any more, that'll lock our bingo card. Obviously, points count, but for the bingo card itself, it will not be added to it. So for now, we got 9 matches on the main card and 2 matches on the 0-hour that we're going to discuss for our bingo card picks. Let's start with the main card. So if we do get a couple more 0 hours, we can bounce around. But let's start with one of the main card matches.
And I can edit it live too. So I'll let me do some shenanigans here.
What match do you think is going to steal the show? Now we got a lot of matches, and which one do you think is going to steal the show tomorrow? Me personally, I mean, I'm pumped for the triple threat match. I think that one, Pure Wrestling, is going to definitely steal the show there. I think Kenny Omega, Ricochet, and Speedball, that chemistry is just going to be off the chain. I am excited to see what those guys are going to deliver. And that's one of those that could definitely start the show as well. I don't know what else could start. I mean, I do think there's going to be 2 title changes tomorrow, and really, that's probably it, in my opinion. When you have, I'm looking at the card here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 titles on the line. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but we have 6 titles on the line at Dynasty, And I do think that, okay, we got Osprey versus Knight. I definitely think that one's going to be a great one overall, pure wrestling. Storm versus Bane, loving the storyline with that one. They quickly built that one to a really mega cis storyline that I'm super pumped about.
Loving it.
Oh, okay, you're fixing the graphics.
Yeah,
there.
I'm adding the trios. And I was thinking this might actually be a really cool like, because here's the thing, all of the bingo cards have been even with the times, have been very close. So I'm wondering if we might want to add a couple tiebreakers. And I'm thinking one of them is who will be Max Caster's opponent at the 0 hour.
Well, that can be like a wild card +1. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because like, for example, like if you like maybe is it gonna be Bowens? Could it be Josh Alexander? Will it be a returning Kill Switch? Will it be Christian Cage? There's a number of things that you can go with. So let's look and see about what we want to do for that. Let me do some tech here, but I will change background. Watch me in live and here you can watch me manage. Here, we'll just put him in there. How did Steven get over there? Get back over here. And then this one. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this for a lot of these matches, and I'm gonna have. I mean, just from a draft standpoint, I'm gonna have to take some wild chances because I can't let you and Steven win this thing because otherwise
I got crayfish. I know we don't want to. I mean, in typical fashion, I've been pretty good at the bingo cards, but this one, I'm really not sure, honestly. And I got Crayfish's picks, so that's good. I'll be able to share his picks as well throughout the show.
I got BC's picks. So
all right.
Let me see if do I have it? I got BC's picks, so we'll be able to go through. It'll take me a little bit to add up tonight's points. I got the points so far, and it's been crazy. So we will see. All right, do we want to get started?
Yeah, let's get started. Pick a match. We'll start our picks. Any order in particular, it doesn't matter.
All right, let's go ahead and we'll start at the top. Here we go. All right, let's start off with Will Ospreay versus Kevin. Ospreay. All right, we got Kevin Knight, who was one of my top performers. I really am impressed with this guy. I don't think he's gonna beat Will Ospreay again. This is one of the Owen Hart tournament. We talked about it. I think Owen Hart men's tournament, it's going to go to Will Ospreay. So I'm just going to go right off the bat, say Will Ospreay.
This one might be a clean sweep. I would have to say Crayfish and myself are Ospreay for sure. Looks like everyone in the chat so far, Courtney, Steven, Bobby, Brent, Full Tilt Deb.
Yep.
I mean, nothing against Knight, but it is great to see that he has been showcased. And unfortunately, we did get to see Jay White with his hurt hand calling things out. So even though he has a hurt hand, I would kind of like to see him still featured on TV, especially with the imminent return of Juice Robinson coming back. So I think they deserve to. The Bang 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 still gets to, he can kind of be the general. And even though he has a hurt hand, he could be still talking smack on the mic and have his Bang Bang gang kind of do the dirty work for him. I don't know how long the injury is going to take to heal, but he's such a polarizing character on TV, Jay White. It's a shame if we don't get to see him anymore on TV for a while.
It's and it's a little weird that they just kind of dissolved the Bullet Club Gold. There wasn't any kind of ending to that whole thing. Right. I don't know if there was a different plan or whatever, but it would have been nice. I mean, it would have been nice to see that match if that was the original plan, was for Ospreay versus Jay White, but I think Kevin Knight's going to be a superstar for a while. Just don't get injured. That's what I'm hoping. All right, next one. Oh, let's just move straight on. Next one, we got the 0 Hour Trios match. All right, we saw that develop tonight with the Puffy Shirt Club. And interesting what they've got going with Nick Wayne. He's kind of trying to be his own man, but he's reluctantly trying to fit in with the Crew. I think that's an interesting fit for him, and I do like that AR Fox is getting some action with Top Flight. Why don't you go ahead and start, SPD?
I think I'm going to pick the Nick Wayne side of the heels. Unfortunately, even though because Top Flight just won, even though they did get beat down, so why would they? What benefit would them be winning again? Just kind of knocking them down. I mean, that's the way I see it. But I feel like if they are kind of investing and pushing this Wayne saga in some element for some reason, for some bigger picture. I know he just got entered into the Junior New Japan tournament, so which is awesome, and so did Kevin Knight. And so I feel like a win here is needed some momentum and kind of be like, see, you need me, get that cocky attitude like they showed in that backstage promo, like he does. He's like, I do what I want when I want. And so Nick Wayne gets the win and adds that more cockiness level of you know what, you guys, without me, you would have never beat these guys or whatever it may be. So speaking of the spiky jackets, the Crew, everyone knows where to get those.
Let us know.
In the market for buying those. So Mine Runner and myself are in the market to get a spiky jacket. So if anyone knows where to get the Crew jackets, please drop us a line and let us know. The porcupine.
I just thought of something. Let's talk a little merch business here.
Yeah.
We need our Dynamite download versions where it's great, it's an explosion. It's the Dynamite going off, and we just walk in where we go, we get an exclusive.
Yeah, there we go.
I like the porcupine boys. Is everybody okay? Full Tilt Deb is going with AR Fox, AR not OSAR.
Yeah.
All right. And you are going with the Crew?
I'm going with the Crew, yep.
You're going with the Crew? All right. I think Brian is going with the Crew. What do we got? What did Cray say?
The Crew.
The Crew. Steve's going with the Crew and Nick Wayne. All right. I'm gonna go with Top Flight AR Fox.
Wow. I
gotta swing I gotta have some swing from the fences here.
So that household is not divided for that.
What's that?
Your household is not divided.
No, it is not. Well, not on this one. Right. You wait till we get to some of these others, though. Looks like, is Bobby Top Flight?
Bobby.
Bobby. And then
Bobby is AR Flight too.
Brent is Puffy Shirt Club, and it comes down to Courtney. Courtney's just laughing.
Courtney's Team Wayne.
Oh, she's Team Wayne? Okay.
Yep.
I must have missed that. I thought she was just too busy laughing at the Puffy Shirt Club. So there we go.
Porcupine Boys.
This one might just be a write-in, but it's because there's not really a pick. Obviously, I don't think any of us think Max Caster's winning, right?
Right. So is this where we're going to be? This is a write-in, so you have to get the correct guess and the correct to get the point.
To get the point, you have to get the correct. You have to choose the correct name, who you think it is,
right.
And it could be anybody. It could be Kurt Angle. It could be RVD. It could be The Undertaker.
Yeah.
It could be Stone Cold, because they're going to be in Texas. What if it's Stone Cold? Courtney says she doesn't really care. Do you think it's time for Bowens, or do you think it needs a build-up, like you said? I think you said earlier you want to see more of a build-up.
I know we were talking on the side, obviously I feel like this whole open challenge split thing is leading to the return of Bowens, but I feel like, safely, I'm just going to say Bowens just because I feel like it's a safe bet, even though I feel like they should save the Bowens return for a Dynamite or something with more eyes. Not that the pre-show doesn't necessarily get that much. Maybe this could be like the last thing on there, and so it's kind of like the huge pop before the main card. Yeah. But Owens' return would be good. You know, Crayfish. We got 2 people in the chat, 3 people saying Josh Alexander, which is that's a pretty good safe bet there. But I do think Bowens would be the safe bet, or Bowens' return should be safe for a bigger moment. And because I want him to kind of trash talk Bowens more and more and more, so the crowd starts to chant for "We want Bowens, we want Bowens," because we heard that a few weeks ago, but it's kind of fizzled out since. So if he kind of hints at it more and more and more, then they get the ultimate payoff with Bowens. Yeah. Now, Crayfish mentioned, he's changed it. Crayfish changed it to back to Bowens, but he was like, "What about Eddie Kingston?" And I was like, "Oh, dang, that would be a huge pop." But it's another one of those like save pop for another time, in my opinion.
I think you're right. I think what's that?
We got FTD's Matt Cardona.
Now that would be tremendous if it was Matt Cardona. I like that. I like that pick. I was thinking whoever it is going to whoever it is going to win. But I think that will be a good time for then Bowens to come out, not wrestle, but be like, Max, what are you doing? You know, we were good together, and then kind of start that whole thing. What if it was? I'm going to say it's going to be Daddy Ass.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Billy Gunn. Yeah, I think I think Billy Gunn's going to be the one coming out.
All right. So we got a couple Bowens, Matt Cardona, Josh Alexander, 3 of those. And what do we got from Courtney? I'm looking for Courtney's. She said she doesn't really care, but Courtney, do you have a pick? And then we need Brian's pick on that. But so kind of a mix. I mean, honestly, it could be anybody. It couldn't. We could be overthinking this, but I think who's a local boy that could make a nice impact. You know, it could be freaking Boom AJ.
AJ, yeah, you know what? I bet Boom AJ would be. Yep, I could see.
So that'd be good for you. You'd get a point regardless there on that one.
Yes, it needs. Let's. I want to change mine to Boom AJ. Can we?
Are you changing it?
No, I'm gonna say Daddy Ass, but that's
you and Quarter Daddy Ass.
Yep.
Juice would be good too, especially since like we mentioned, Jay White's going to be on TV.
This is a good gimmick to bring either introduce a new wrestler or bring a returning wrestler back into the fold. There's a lot that this is really good. This is a good way to do something like that. So I'm all for it. I think this is again, I don't like that he's making the most of this, but it is kind of squirrely that he's been resulted to a super jobber, a super geek. But it is what it is. But I think it works.
Yeah, AEW just posted on their X 0 hour tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern. So typical, still 1 hour and a half, hosting by the same 3, Jarrett, Renee, and RJ, and they only did the open challenge in the trio so far. So they put a graphic out. So we'll see. Looks like that might be it for now. On to another match. So we're all kind of that's a nice wild card to throw in there for sure.
That is. All right, ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
All right. And this is another part of the Owen Hart tournament. Right. And we have, of course, Julia Hart from the Hounds of Hell. And she's going – wait a second. I got a note from our producer that we actually have a special guest in studio. Ladies and wow. This is how you know Dynamite Down. This was not our surprise at the end, but we actually have a celebrity in our midst. She's going to be joining right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your CEO, Dynamite Download.
Oh my gosh.
It's your CEO. Let's say hello to our CEO here. Hello, CEO.
Oh my God.
Everybody. I'm your CEO.
Oh, that's a nice
Would you like some CEO kisses?
Oh my gosh.
Hell no. Well,
CEO,
who
you
cares
excited for
about you?
tomorrow?
Who cares about you, Courtney? You can't mess with me. I'm a CEO. Calm down. It's okay. It's okay. You're still a champion. You're still the CEO.
Are you excited for tomorrow's pay-per-view, CEO?
Oh, I'm so excited. Woo! I'm so excited for this. I'm going to win the Owen Hart Cup tournament. And then I'm going to go win the AEW Championship. Whee!
Oh my gosh. Well, it starts tonight. It starts tomorrow on your road to Texas to the All In to get to that title shot. So best of luck versus a former TBS champ.
Yeah, and what's going to happen if you end up facing Athena? What? Athena? I can't stand her. I don't want you mention her. All right. I think
You all right,
she's
Mike?
left. I think the CEO has stormed out because I mentioned Athena. So that must be really getting on her nerves there.
Sensitive subject for sure.
Yeah, very sensitive. But hey, the CEO graced us with her presence. That means we're really moving up in the world. This is fantastic. Yeah, CEO. Oh, she's back. CEO. All right. Well, let's move on.
Well, this definitely, I don't see Mercedes taking a first round loss. She's my pick for tomorrow night's match. Same with Crayfish. What do you guys feel in the chat? Monet versus Hart, which on paper, like this could be a finals match. I mean, obviously we saw what we saw tonight in the tag match, but Brent's calling an upset with Julia Hart. I mean, I guess you could call it an upset in a sense, but I think Mercedes is taking this one. And looking back at, I'm trying to see if I have those saved, the brackets. I'm trying to find the brackets again.
Why is Steven? All right, I gotta go get Steven from another thing.
I don't see it on our screen. You got the screen?
Yeah, it just can you see it?
No, it's not on the screen.
Oh, it's because I'm not sharing the screen. Let me put it up.
Mercedes, Hart, Courtney, and Brent are going with Julia Hart. All right. The Hart always wins. Oh, my Siri on my watch was saying.
Who's going? Who else is going? We got I got Courtney, Brent. Who else? Bobby? No, Bobby's going Mercedes Monet.
We got Steven, Bobby, both going to Mercedes. FTD, Monet, the Monet train for sure too.
All right, I'm actually gonna join the Hart train myself.
Wow.
Did you say Cray?
Cray's Monet.
Cray is Monet. And what do I have for Brian? He says Monet as well. So we've got quite a few.
Wow.
I'm going with Julia Hart.
I mean, I didn't think it'd be as much of a mix. I thought this one would have been more of a Monet sweep. But
I have to go with Julia Hart after the harassment I just received. And I don't know how I'm going to get this stuff off. The things we do for what qualifies as entertainment. The stupid ideas we come up with. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right. The word of the day. Kyle Fletcher, you're going down with the Briscoes. I think Kyle Fletcher's going to win this one. I just got to put, Kyle Orton is going to get his. I
didn't know they did a good job tonight with commentary. Callis, how Briscoe has a 2-1 advantage in this series. I had no idea. I thought Fletcher had more wins on Briscoe, but this one, another one. I feel like the brackets are very strong. Like we mentioned, like on our show, how that in previous ones, it's kind of predictable, but this definitely could go either way. Women's bracket is very, very strong. I think stronger than the men's, in my opinion. However, Fletcher is my pick and Cray's pick as well. I think you got to continue to push him. I don't want to see, as much as I loved the rivalries, I do not want to see Fletcher versus Ospreay again, even though it would deliver.
Yeah.
And I will take it, but I feel like they got to have that chapter closed for a while.
Yeah, been there, done that. I mean, it's kind of it's time for us to move on from that. I agree. So you're going Briscoe?
No, I'm going Fletch.
All right, but you don't want to see it in the finals. I got you.
Yeah.
What's everybody else saying?
We got Full Tilt, Bobby, Brent, Courtney, all Fletcher, Steven Fletcher, Cray Fletcher. Looks like a Fletcher sweep.
Yeah, I'm sorry there, Chicken, but it's a Fletcher sweep. Yeah, but well, it happens. Dude, let me ask you this, and no shade to this match, but do you think they could have put a different quarterfinal match in here instead of this, or is this? I mean, would you have rather seen a different match than that?
No, because these are two big name guys, in my opinion. So I'm looking at like Brody King versus Takeshita. I don't know if that's whenever that's going to be, but I feel like this is more of a pay-per-view quality match. So I guess here's the thing. I have no problem with them putting tournament matches on the pay-per-view with minimal build, because I feel like the stakes of the tournament are very high. This is, to main event. And it's not like it's a 20-man or woman tournament. There's only 8 wrestlers. So if you put on some of these matches, you are adding prestigeness to the tournament. And so I feel like putting those on there, some people are like, oh, it might be like a cop-out of, adding more matches to a pay-per-view, whatever. I don't think so. I think this match is going to be awesome. It's having matches from the tournament is a pay-per-view quality, in my opinion. I do like that. I'm looking at the brackets while I'm talking to you. So, yeah, you have two matches, and then you slowly start to build the rest of the tournament out to have the finals at probably Double or Nothing. I would hope so. So clean sweep for Fletcher on this one.
Yeah, that's. I think it's everybody for Fletcher.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody else wanting to go with there. All right, let's move right along. Hi guys, go to bed, kid. This is an interesting one.
Title.
This is Mask versus Title, which is a lot on the line. Plus, there's a lot more than just Mask versus Title, I think, with this one, because this is your number one. You're talking about who's going to either stay or become the Ring of Honor World Champion. Is Bandito going to lose the mask? Is it going to kind of Rey Mysterio style? Is it going to be where he has to lose the mask, but then he doesn't? Something happens. Is there going to be some shenanigans? Is it going to be a double disqualification? I don't know, but I wonder if Jericho is ready to give up the title to Bandito. Do you think Bandito's ready to be the face of Ring of Honor? And does that mean Jericho's going to come back and finish a storyline with the learning tree?
This gimmick on the match, if this is the last chance for Bandito for the title versus Jericho, in my opinion, because they've been stretching this out for so long. I think Bandito is ready. I feel like if they give this opportunity to him, and Jericho could always try to win it back, or he can maybe sick Big Bill on him to try to get his title back, or whatever. The story could still continue on in some element. I do love Jericho being a champ. However, having this gimmick on there, I don't think Bandito's losing. And I think they've given the story the time, and everything enough to fester, and for him to get that pop and get that victory. So Cray and I are both on the Bandito train. It looks like FTD is on the Jericho train, and Steven is going with Zorro.
Oh, he is? I thought he was drinking bubbly. I got the wrong message. I misread that then. He's going with Zorro. All right, he's going with Zorro.
But he's going with Zorro.
You know what?
And
I'm going with Bandito also.
Bandito for Courtney, Bandito for Bobby.
I will be very surprised, especially when it's now like the mask is on the line.
Right.
I mean, that's just Brian is going with Jericho.
Wow, Brian's going with Jericho. Brent is going with Bandito.
You know what? I'm switching sides. I'm going with Jericho.
Wow.
Yep. I can't go against the Y2J. I think he's going to keep. I still think he's going to. I think there's something to his whole. They're trying to get ROH a TV deal or something, and I think they need Jericho still as the home. So we shall see.
We shall see is right.
All right, let's roll up. Let's roll. All right.
TNT Championship match. No time limit. There must be a winner on this. So they're running it back for the third time?
Yes.
For what it's worth, is unfortunately, I know we're kind of at similar points where we're not necessarily that invested in this. I want to be proven wrong on this match. I want to be impressed by this match. I'm going to go into this match with an open mind and hope for the best. What I do enjoy about this match for both guys' sake is that they're both evenly matched in terms of size.
Yeah.
It's no secret both guys are on the smaller side. And so having that cruiserweight weight class to be able to go against people similar to that, I'm happy with that. So I do think it's time to refresh it. And I think Adam Cole, he's gonna take this one. We got Full Tilt Deb Cole, Bobby Cole, and Stephen Cole. The way I was kind of thinking of this, I know we've got that hot take going with the whole Wardlow joining the Hurt Syndicate and all that, and so I feel like this could tie into it. If you turn the Adam Cole UK guys heel, and we've seen Roddy and O'Reilly wanting to get back into the tag division and kind of showcasing that, and so I feel like if he gets the TNT title for a while and then you stretch out that Hurt Syndicate, possibly Wardlow joining them. Then down the line, when O'Reilly and Roddy Strong are like, we want gold too. We're going to challenge the Hurt Syndicate. And so the Hurt Syndicate challenges them. And then Wardlow, being the fourth member, challenges Adam Cole so he can get his gold back from Adam Cole. So you have Wardlow with the TNT title, essentially, rekindling that kind of, they weren't seeing eye to eye when they were all in the group together. So that would be a nice promo or a nice battle there with Wardlow and Adam Cole, and Wardlow just decimating Adam Cole to regain the TNT champ. So TNT champ, Wardlow, tag titles, Hurt Syndicate, all in one big group would be a pretty great presentation.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with Courtney. The promo that they did tonight, where it was the two of them in the table, and then they asked to leave. That it didn't do anything to make me more invested in this match, and I was trying. I'm with you. I like both of these guys. I'm not invested. In fact, I almost forgot it in the intro where I was making for tonight. I almost forgot to add it in there, and it's just I know the crickets. It's sad because I feel like Adam Cole's been snake bitten. Like he must have pissed off some voodoo priestess in New Orleans or something, because he got the jujus on him, or the hosies, because he got it just nothing's working right now, and I almost feel like they're throwing everything they can to help Adam Cole, but it's just not working. I miss Kyle O'Reilly with the conglomeration. He was better there. I actually thought Roddy did a better job with Taven and Bennett than he's been doing with this group.
Right.
So, anyways, I'm gonna go with Garcia. But I almost feel like it's a flip of the coin at this point.
So you and Brian are Garcia. Everyone else is Cole.
Cray went Cole. You went Cole. And Courtney's
for
Cole.
The rest. Courtney's Cole.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go with Garcia, but to me, it's a flip of the coin. I think that this could be a story for Adam Cole to try to find find his mojo back or something. I don't know. We'll
Right.
see. Oh, now this. Okay, the last one was gonna put me to sleep. This one is gonna be tremendous. However, as far as the match, we are getting candy for Christmas here. We're getting everything. As far as the outcome, I feel like there's only one outcome because the plan is still to make it Kenny Omega versus Takeshita to unify the belts at All In. So I am going with Mr. Omega himself. I am just assuming the missus is going to go with Omega.
The missus has got Omega, Brent,
Yep.
Bobby, Steven, all Omega. I feel like this one is going to be a clean Omega because this is his first title defense. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but yeah, he's not losing the title anytime soon, in my opinion.
By the way, I still can't believe that somehow Steven isn't on every slide, but I don't know what happened. My stupid fingers. Yeah. But it's going to be incredible, and it's going to be one of those things where it's just like you're going to see, Kenny can work with anybody, and he's worked with both of these guys before when they're all young, or when Kenny had that curly blonde hair. But you have Trevor and Speedball Mike Bailey. This is just going to be insane. Is it?
Even if it's a predictable outcome, it's still going to be one of the matches that I'm going to be glued to the TV and most excited for.
Exactly.
Off the card, this is definitely one of the ones I'm most excited for, even though I can't imagine anything happening to the title with Kenny Omega. My God, Kenny Omega.
Courtney's
going speedball?
She's throwing a curveball by going with speedball. All right.
Throwing a speed curveball.
She understands you gotta swing from the fences right now if you're below Steven and SBD, because
you're right.
You'll find out in a little bit why it's even worse than you thought. But all right, let's move on to the next one. All right, the trios. All is not fine in rated FTR land.
They hugged it out though tonight.
Yeah, they made out tonight, but that's always the calm before the storm. We've seen this before in professional wrestling where everything's going to be fine. I don't think everything is fine. I do think that we're going to see, this is the beginning of a long-term plan to have one of Cope's last matches be Cope and Christian versus FTR. I think that, and I really like Courtney's idea. I think even Tony Khan and them will probably like it, of having, it's going to build to a match where it's Cope versus Dax, or it might actually, what if it's Dax versus Cash with Cope as the ref? I don't know, but I do think that regardless, the Death Riders are going to retain the championship.
Yeah, I'm with you. As much as I have said this before Cope's return, how these three should be the next trios champs, the way the storyline's panning out, I don't see it, sadly. I would be, even though I'm picking the Death Riders, I would gladly take being wrong on this to have rated FTR be the champs. I want them to be the champs. However, Steven's got Death Riders. What do we got? Brent's rated FTR. Cray is rated FTR as well. But I want them to be the champs. I just don't see it. Like I mentioned on Dynamite Download on Thursday, I think the next champs, if not FTR, rated FTR, is going to be the Ops. And so,
yeah,
who would be for it. Oh man, I'm excited. I am excited for this match. I don't know what to expect. Yeah. I feel like it's not just going to be a loss and move on. I feel like there's going to be some turmoil. Obviously, continue with rated FTR. I don't know where they go with this. I'm really curious of how this is going to play out. But I would be a happy camper. Throw the confetti up if rated FTR wins.
But you're going with the Death Riders?
Yeah.
All right.
Brian, FTR. Everyone else is Death Riders.
Yeah, Brian, Cray, and Brent are going rated FTR, and I can see a path where they do have the trios, but we'll see. All right,
Yeah,
moving
there's
right
a lot
along.
of good.
What's
There's
that?
only 2 matches. Well, actually, one match that we were all lockstep in, which is the Will Ospreay match. Everyone else, you
Kyle
almost said
Fletcher.
Kenny Omega. Oh, Fletcher and Ospreay, of course. How
Yeah.
how ironic.
Even the Kenny Omega, Courtney threw a curveball with the speedball, but it could be, you know.
Right?
All right, we heard people. We heard.
people.
All right, what do you think? What do you guys think?
I guess this is another one that's probably lockstep. Hurt Syndicate, as much as I've been liking what Big Bill has been putting out, both in the ring and on the mic, and the way he looks, just the total package there with Big Bill, Hurt Syndicate ain't losing anytime soon. Another one of those. I hope there's more to it than just the match.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for some kind of surprise or anything at pay-per-views, and we haven't really gotten too many surprises at pay-per-views as of late. We've just gotten quality matches, quality storylines, but Hurt Syndicate's going there. I hope we get the scumbag kind of out there and not necessarily affecting the match, but at least just showing face so he can have that storyline be further told more. And maybe even they do plant that seed where, like, you know what, on Dynamite, we're going to make our final decision or whatever, something like that. So I hope there's more to it. So Hurt Syndicate, I feel like this is definitely going to be a clean sweep.
All right, we get from Bobby said Hurt Syndicate. What's Gray said?
Hurt Syndicate.
All right, and Bobby and Mine Runners, and of course Mine Runners going to go ahead and say Big Bill and Brian Keith are going to win.
Really?
This match. Listen to my words.
Oh my God.
Brian Keith and Big Bill are going to win this match. I did not say they were winning the tag team champions, because here's what's going to happen. As I stated Thursday night, MJF is going, what he said, MJF promised that as long as you're cool with me, I'll make sure you keep those tag team titles for the rest of your lives. And one way, as a scumbag would know, to keep your tag team titles is to lose as the result of a disqualification. If the other team wins by DQ, they don't get the titles. You retain your titles, and I think that's what's going to happen. Hurt Syndicate are going to dominate. They're going to have a great match. Big Bill and Brian Keith are going to look good, but just when it looks like the Hurt Syndicate is doing well, MJF is going to come in, cause shenanigans, and he's going to cause a disqualification. The Hurt Syndicate's going to be disqualified, but because it's a disqualification, they retain the titles. Therefore, the following Wednesday, they're going to make their announcement. They're going to address what happened, and MJF's going to come out. They're going to be all happy, and they say, based on your actions, MJF, we have made a decision about when we'd like to welcome now our 4th member to the Hurt Syndicate. And just as MJF's going to try to hug MVP, you hear Wardlow's music. And that would be music
to my ears. That would be the symphony would be just incredible.
The symphony. So I'm out on a limb with this one. So sorry, everybody.
I hope so, man. I mean, we all hope so. So
let's see what happens.
He's been
all right.
All year. Last time I saw Wardlow was at Dynasty last year, where I was at Dynasty. So it would be fitting for a return there, at Dynasty, or soon or shortly after. One of the most anticipated matches that I have for tomorrow is this match: Toni Storm versus Megan Bayne. They've done an incredible job with the build. Both women have had battles back and forth with each other and versus other ones leading up to this. The women's division is on a pedestal because of Toni Storm.
Yes.
And you have your biggest goddess coming for the title. And we did not see this coming this soon. However, we're loving it. And Toni Storm is not losing the title anytime soon, in my opinion. Hopefully not, because she's such a draw. She's such an important element to the division. She's such a character in and of herself in so many ways. To slay the dragon, to slay the Megasis would be such a huge notch on her belt, per se. This is fantastic. I would love to see this run back again, but I'm very excited to anticipate for this one. But we got Timeless Toni Storm for Brent, Full Tilt Deb, Bobby, myself. What about you, Mind?
Oh, of course. Timeless. Yeah, I'm Tony Storm. I don't think Megan Bain's going to win this. I think this has been a good build-up. I think you can't remove the title from the face of the division unless you've got someone else ready to go. And Tony Storm right now, what's that?
Steven and Cray are picking Bain.
Okay. All right. This could be it. What about Courtney?
Courtney TBD. Or she's just said main event. Let's see. I do like that. Bain, Tony gets it back at Double or Nothing. Gonna have a battle of the Thunder Tits, Tony versus Rosa at All In. We do want to see the Thunder Tits battle there because that would be an awesome build for sure. Courtney's going Bain too.
All right, there we go. We got Cray, Steven, and Courtney. It'll be interesting. I'm not hating those picks, but I think I'm feeling like Tony's retaining. It's going to be a bloody battle, but she's going to retain. All right, let's get to it. Boom.
Main event.
Whose house?
Swerve's house.
All right, now this one's going to be not only compelling to watch, but I think all eyes are going to be how this whole thing comes to pass. Is Hangman going to be involved in this match? What say you, SPD?
As I said on Thursday, I kind of still stand by that. I feel like he will get involved after the match as a beatdown save. As much as I want Swerve to win, because of course I think he's just such a compelling, awesome champ. I feel like you need a public enemy number one going into All In. He's taken so many people down, Moxley, and so if you I think you need to start the demise of the Death Riders by them losing the trios titles in some way, and then there's still, let's see, what do we got? April, May, June, 2.5, 3 months till All In. So I don't want to see Swerve going into All In, and then who would you want him to go against for the main event? Ospreay Swerve would obviously be killer, but I think the bigger payoff is Moxley losing to Ospreay at All In, kind of passing the torch to Ospreay.
Okay.
So Swerve's had his moment, and he's been an awesome champ, and I would love to see him run it back. However, I feel like Moxley passing the torch to Ospreay would be such a pivotal moment at All In my opinion.
All right, you're entitled to it.
You're Moxley is my pick.
You're entitled to be wrong because it's going to be Swerve Strickland. This is the storyline. This is what is making the Death Riders worth the storyline that we've been putting up to at this point. Because finally, one of the two most dangerous men in AEW is now stepping up to Moxley, and he's going to be reunited with his old enemy. It's like a Kurosawa samurai film. His old enemy is now going to join forces with him to deride the Death Riders. However, I think he can do it with the championship belt, because here's what I think is going to happen. By Swerve winning the championship, it doesn't mean he's going to be able to carry the gold, because Moxley and his thugs are gonna refuse to turn it over, and that's going to continue. Hold it hostage. They're going to hold it hostage. They're going to continue to taunt and say he didn't win it legitimately. They're going to do all this stuff, and they're going to start causing havoc in AEW. Meanwhile, Swerve and Hangman are going to have this moment where they're starting to realize that the two of them are what they need to stop the death. We got to kill the Death Riders once and for all. That's going to lead to a blood and guts. And I think, by then, hopefully, maybe after blood and guts, maybe Darby will be back from Mount Everest. Who knows? Maybe not. Eddie Kingston coming back would actually further make this whole storyline compelling, because I see Eddie taking the stance of not knowing what happened to John and blaming it all on Claudio, saying that Claudio made you this way. And I could see Eddie siding with Swerve in this whole thing. I think it's Swerve's chance to get the belt back. He is. I mean, really, when you look at how he's treated, how he's portrayed in media with AEW, it's
Right.
Swerve is the man at this point. And I think it's going to be really compelling to have him and with Hangman and everything. So I'm going Swerve.
Okay. And this is another one of those that I would be happily lose and want that to happen. You know, I'm thinking booking wise for my points versus my heart on this one.
Yeah.
So
you have
Ray
to.
is Mox, mine is Swerve, FTD Swerve. So the household is going to be no split household there once again. Steven Mox, Bobby Mox, Brent Swerve, Court Swerve.
And you say Craze Mox?
Craze Mox.
All right.
Yes.
And
When was the
Mr.
last time we
Beast,
had a split main event? So
look
much.
at this. And Brian is Swerve. Look at
Wow.
this. If Swerve, we need Swerve to win because SPD and Steven both chose Moxley. So let's just run through them real quick again. Make sure we got everybody's picks in correct. We've got clean sweep for Will Ospreay.
Yep.
Split, we got mine, Bobby at Full Tilt Deb for Air Fox and Top Flight versus the Crew. We got we're all have different picks in for Max Caster.
Hold on, before we finish, while we still have everyone in the chat, text us your main event time because we need that for a tiebreaker. Main event time, put it in the chat of the total time bell to bell while we're going through this.
Do you have everybody's pick for this?
Yes.
Okay, except Brian's. I'll get Brian's.
Except Brian's, yes.
All right, we're split here. We're a clean sweep for Fletcher. Split for Jericho Bandito.
Yep.
We're even split for Garcia, but I think this is going to be you guys might be winning this one. We're all except for Courtney with the curveball for the speedball. We're all for Kenny. And we got the FTR and the Death Riders. I predict MJF is going to get the Hurt Syndicate disqualified, but they're going to keep the titles. Everyone else disagrees. And wow, Megan Bain versus Tony. And then there we go, main event.
All right.
Which I may have been acting a little more nervous than everyone else would because I have some data that you all aren't privy to that I'm going to share here in just a second here because I happen to not share screen. I happen to, while we were doing this, I happen to tally the latest results, the current draft standings.
Yeah.
And I got to let me just first preface this. This season,
the suspense.
This season has been so much fun, and it has been one of the closest seasons I think we've had, top to bottom. So since we've been doing this draft, it's still anybody's. Now there's two people that are thinking they're sitting pretty at the top, but it's still anybody's to win. So without further ado, let's take a look at the numbers.
We bring the boom. That's what we do. We bring the boom. We bring the boom to you. We bring the boom. We bring the boom to everyone. We bring the boom. Your favorite father and son.
Every afternoon on your FYP.
We'll be bringing the boom around the 3:15.
We bring the boom so loud the whole earth shakes.
With double chunk chocolate cookies.
And chicken bakes.
We have a tie for first place.
Dang.
SBD and Steven are tied for first place. It is but not just that. Look at Brian, Courtney, Full Tilt Dev, and Bobby are tied 23. I am only a point ahead of them. and Crayfish is only 2 points ahead of me. You do well, and you get a +3 for the bingo. I mean, anybody that's at 23 gets a +3. You're tied with Cray plus whatever points you get.
Right.
Basically at this time, we just need to have SPD and Steven not win the bingo card. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Amount of points. So there's, as of now, with no more additional buy-in matches, there are 17 total points at stake. So 17 points, possibly 16 because we don't know the wild card for that open challenge. But so at least 16 points are at stake for this. So add 16 more, throw it in there, and I'll mix it up. Who knows, man? I mean, plus that +3, so almost 20-point swing in for tomorrow night. So what's going to happen?
Woo! That's what I'm saying. As I was doing the totals, I'm watching everybody's picks. I'm like, ooh, this is going to be. If Steven and SPD, if they win the bingo, it's going to be tough to get the double or nothing. But I just look at how everyone rises. Like even now, Brent is at the bottom, but he wasn't always at the bottom. Any given week, Brent could just suddenly shoot to the top. Same Bobby. Full Tilt Deb was at the bottom for a while. And look at now, she's tied with so many people. Brian was kind of close. Brian was 3rd place, and now look at him. So this is going to be tremendous. I'm excited. It's going to be fun, and you never know how it's going to shake out, especially with injuries. Deb was plagued with a couple with injuries, and then Andrade took a powder, so that's where we instituted the Full Tilt Deb rule. But fantastic stuff. I'm excited. Dynasty's going to be so much fun. I am really excited for Dynasty and going into Double or Nothing. So I don't think we have anything else to cover at this point. Well, we do have one thing. We have one small little news update that we'd like to give to everybody. So
I can't wait. What is the announcement? The suspense is killing me.
Well, without further ado,
I'm your huckleberry.
Those cowboy boots and cowboy hat ready because we're going down to y'all in July, baby.
Slap a tick dog on a coonhound. We are going to All In. We are going to be live on location. We are going to be reporting live with live interviews, live shows, behind the scenes, all kinds of other cool shenanigans. You don't want to miss it. That's why you got to hit that not only the subscribe button, you got to hit the bell button, because we're gonna be popping on live quite a bit on the Instagrams, on the Twitty Birds, Yex, everything. It's gonna be off the chain. But yes, we are going to y'all in. You will see us there. In fact, the fun's gonna start. I think Wednesday night is when a lot of crazy stuff will happen. But basically, the solid content from Dynamite Download's going to start on Thursday through Sunday. Probably even Sunday, we'll have post-show. Maybe we'll do a little post-show, scrambled eggs and something like that before our flights. But excellent stuff. What's that?
Breakfast with the Dukes.
Breakfast with the Dukes and the Duchess. Full Tilt Deb will be on the scene. And whether she likes it or not, she's going to be participating in a lot of our shenanigans. And some of the shenanigans might involve my personal harm, but it's we're taking Dynamite Download with us to Arlington, Texas, and it's going to be a lot of fun. She'll be smoking.
The intro was awesome. You got to send. I got to do that. We got to post that and pin that to our page.
Yes.
And post that online, because that intro is awesome. I love the subtle Hangman's theme. It wasn't the full theme, but it was very, very subtle, and I loved what you did with that, man. Killing the intros. You always surprise me with those. Killing the videos. Love it, man. It's gonna be a great, great time. I'm super pumped. Definitely, we're gonna go to the Ring of Honor show. I'm going to All In. I love that it's in the afternoon. It's gonna start in the afternoon. Better bring that sunscreen if they're gonna open up the roof for a while there.
Yep.
So I want my pale arms to get sunburned, but it's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
It's going to be good. And I think the way that it's set up is there's concessions like right behind, like every section you go up. You don't have to schlep all the way to the top. You can just go grab a little refreshment.
I think the roof, Deb, is a open close, like a contract, like you can goes both ways, if you know what I mean. So hopefully, I don't want to have an open air. Yes, I don't want the hot as well. So we'll see what they decide to do with that.
Didn't we looked at some of the pictures? And I think some of the pictures had it has like it has one of those things that comes over it.
Power one.
Exactly. But we're gonna be in the shade either way, because we got some good seats that are under things, so we'll be good.
Thank you guys. Enjoy Dynasty. It's gonna be an epic show. And we'll see you on Thursday with the updated draft standings, plus more info as we start to book out our all-in trip and so much more. But thank you guys. It's been fun. Enjoy the show. We're going to do a little live tweeting during the show as well, so follow along, and we'll see you soon.
Absolutely. And instead of the regular ending, how about we go with this one?
I'm your huckleberry.